guys, it's Nick and Django. We're sitting out here in the Sonic, and we're going to give you guys a little bit of a review video today. Before I get to the review video, I want to go ahead and tell you guys a little story, and it's gonna tie into the review today. So just kind of bear with me for a second as we get through this. Today's review is going to be on one of those things that we always want to have with us and pray that we never need. No, it's not a gun. We're going to be talking about dash cams. And a little while back, it was probably been about 3 years now, I got into a little accident. There was nobody that was injured or anything like that. But I had to get a state trooper to come out and fill out a report and things like that. And basically the gist of it is a guy on the road had crossed the center line on me, and he took my mirror off the side of my truck. And I had a dash cam with me, but the problem is it was one of those cheap dash cams that you get at Best Buy for 50 bucks or so, and it didn't really work all that well, and it had a lot of issues. And the whole main problem with it that day was it was sitting on the passenger side floorboard because I had gotten fed up with it. Not exactly where I needed it at that time. The accident was declared as a no fault, and as a result of that, I had to pay through my insurance company to get some things worked out. I had pretty decent insurance at the time, so it wasn't too bad on me, but all things considered, had I had that video running at the time, it would have been pretty clear cut that I was in my lane and he was not in his lane. And sort of following that story up, there is a gentleman by the name of Ben Lawless. I actually used a picture of his truck in the video that I did on why I bought my truck a couple videos ago. And I think, if I recall, the day that I shot that video, he had gotten into an accident with his truck, and he had his dash cam running. And I think as a result of that, it was pretty clear cut that the other person was in the wrong, and insurance ultimately totaled his truck out. But luckily nobody in the truck was hurt, but he was nice enough to let me use some of that video in this video. So we're going to go ahead and cut to that real quick, and then we'll come back here. So as you can see, it looked like the guy in the Honda was not paying attention. From what I understand, he never even looked left to see if there was anybody coming down from the other side of the road. But that sort of leads into our review today. So since that accident, I have gone out and got myself a better dash cam. The one that I went with is the Rexing, it's the V1. This is sort of their entry-level, kind of bare bones. You can do some upgrading on this. These are pretty nice dash cams for the price though. They're 1080p full HD resolution. They've got very good quality video. You could read a license plate at a reasonable distance. I would say probably about 100 to 150 feet at nighttime, which is pretty good. If somebody gets that close to me, that I get into an accident, I'm going to definitely be able to read the license plate. I can't say the same for the other dash cam that I had. The other one, I could probably tell you that something had happened, but it was sort of like that 90s, almost black and white security cam footage that you used to see on the news, and you still sometimes see it, where they go, oh yeah, here's the person that committed the crime. Do you have any information on him? And you look at it and go, there's a guy standing there. I don't know who that is. But this one is a much better quality video. It's it's very easy. There's about 4 buttons to work the whole thing. It has a shock sensor in it, so if you are in an accident, it automatically captures that as soon as it senses the jolt of the vehicle, and it saves that and locks it onto the SD card. When I bought this one, I want to say it was about $150 or so, and I got a little bit of a deal on it. I was able to get the camera, a 64 gigabyte memory card, as well as the hardwire kit to hardwire it into my truck. So it's permanently hardwired in, no cigarette lighter or anything like that. Now, a couple of the upgrades or accessories that you can get to this, if you look on this side here, there's a couple of things here. You can get a GPS antenna, and what the GPS antenna will do is it will constantly monitor where you are. It'll give an approximate speed and things like that. It won't show on this camera, but if something were to ever happen, and let's say you had to go to court over it, or send it to your insurance company, or whatever the case may be, it would tell you that on this road you were going approximately this speed on this day at this time. So that's a nice little feature to have. One thing that I've always said, and I've learned this through construction and being in the trades, is that the person with the most measurements usually wins the arguments, even if that guy doesn't know what the measurements are. One other thing that you can do with these cameras is you can get a rear-facing camera. I don't have that on my truck. No real particular reason why I don't have it, I just don't have one. But you can have a rear-facing camera that will look out the back. So if somebody comes flying around you at 90 miles an hour and pulls in front of you and slams on the brakes, you now have all the evidence to prove that, look, there was nothing I could do about this. For those of us that have trailers and motorhomes and fifth wheels and things like that, we understand that you can't stop these things on a dime, especially when you're cruising down the road at 13,000 pounds. It just, the laws of physics don't allow for it. So to have this to say, you know, to a state trooper or an officer, whoever may come out, to say, look, there was nothing I could do, he, you know, cut me off, or he pulled out in front of me or something like that. It's the unblinking eye. It's that, you know, witness that cannot be faltered. Again, like I said, it's one of those things that you always have it with you, but you kind of pray you never need it. That's about all that I'm going to give for you guys on this. I will drop some information on where you can get these. I got mine from Amazon. I'll drop that in the video description. As well as, I know Ben, in his, he uses a Garmin. That's the brand that he uses. I'll reach out to him and see if I can get any information on that, and we can drop that in the description as well. Other than that, guys, give us a like if you like the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. Give us a comment. Those comments help us to know if we're headed in the direction that you guys like, or if we're headed in the direction that you don't like. Or just get on there and tell me I suck. I don't care. But as for me and Django, I think that's all we have today, because he's tired and he's conked out.